Hello and welcome to Gorilla and The Geek, the podcast for sweaty nerds by sweaty nerds. My name is Kyle from Geeks Weekly, and I'm here with my good friend who is also quarantined, John the Ginger Gorilla. John, how you doing on this fine Sunday afternoon?
I'm doing well. So I do have a little bit of a hot take to start off with this, but a lot of people are complaining about this quarantine in the sense of I'm bored. I don't know what to do. I'm sad. I'm stuck inside. I'm thriving. I don't know. I just maybe it's the sweaty nerd in me. Maybe it's a content creator. Maybe it's just someone who loves to consume content, create content, content. I don't know what it is, but I could get used to this, you know?
Yeah, I know, I agree. I mean, but also, again, you and I are people that could thrive indoors.
Mm-hmm.
There are people out there who are the type of people who on their Tinder profiles say, I need someone who's willing to go on adventures. There's people like that who just can't do the whole. I have a TV behind me. That's my best friend. That's been my best friend since I was a child. I love television. I love movies. I love video games. That's our thing. But yeah, I'm doing all right too. I've come up with some pretty interesting video ideas for the channel. This goes out on Monday, tomorrow, which means in a couple of hours, or maybe already. I haven't decided when I'm debuting the video. There will be a brand new video on the Geeks Weekly channel. John, do you mind me announcing what it is?
No, of course. Go ahead.
It is going to be a tier list video. I'm taking a bunch of facets as well as the movies themselves from the Spider-Man movie universes and ranking them based on my opinion. So I'll be ranking
Nice.
every Spider-Man movie. I'll be ranking every Spider-Man character performance of like Peter Parker or Miles Morales. He's also in there. The Spider-Man love interests, as well as the Spider-Man movie villains. And that will release on the day that this podcast is out. So
I
pretty excited.
I am very excited for that video because that's the first time I heard of it. So Kyle's been keeping this a secret from all of us, but I said he probably needs to announce it and kind of sell it on this podcast because this is going to be released same day. If you are listening to this in the future though, not Monday the 6th, be sure to check that out. Go over to the Geeks Weekly page. It'll be linked down below as always. And check out Kyle's videos. So Kyle, let's jump right into our topics for the day.
Awesome. So I would like to start off by discussing, I guess, an addition to what I was discussing last podcast, the decision of these movie studios on what they're going to be doing with this year's releases.
Yeah.
A bunch of the releases from this past month of March and this current month of April have been canceled, as well as some in June. I was under the impression that maybe movie studios would consider doing what Universal did by putting out their movies on streaming platforms or through YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
Not the case. Warner Brothers specifically decided to push movies back all the way towards the end of the year. And that stinks,
Yeah,
I was hoping that maybe we'd be able to see some stuff at home, but it's looking like it's not the case. You were going to say something?
I'm a little shocked. I mean, I get it. Probably numbers wise, they probably wouldn't make the same amount of money.
No.
So I guess they're looking at it from that point. They're big investments. I mean, it's very understandable. But at this point, you're not getting any money income. So I would I don't know. I would think that they would at least maybe one here, maybe one there, but not all of them. Maybe delay some, release some, type of thing, just so you had some revenue still coming in at this point. Because right now, what's keeping you from your business going super into the red? I don't know. But also, maybe they have some side hustles in the background, things that are going out in the other entertainment things. I don't know. But it's a weird decision by them. But also speaking of which, right now on Disney Plus, something keeping Disney Plus alive. I don't know if you were going to talk about this. Onward's on there.
Yeah, that was my next point.
Yeah. I'm very excited about that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so just so everyone knows, we discussed this last podcast. Onward cost $200 million to make.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that includes a budget for marketing and everything. It only made $100 million in theater so far,
Which is a rough go.
which is a huge
Rough
bust.
loss. Yeah.
Now, I'm sure it would have made its money,
Yeah.
but they kind of just ate the loss. I was kind of so once Warner Brothers decided what they were going to do, I expected Disney to do the same,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason they decided to put Onward on Disney Plus with free of charge. It's included with your subscription, and I'm shocked by it, but pleasantly surprised, I would say, because now you and I have access to this movie that we wouldn't have seen otherwise. You know?
Yeah. So here's my theory on it, right? Put on my tinfoil hat. I think Disney may be doing this due to the fact that a lot of people, so from what I heard, canceled their Disney Plus subscription, right? Not really people who have kids and bought it for their kids. I mean, hands down, Disney Plus might be the number one streaming platform if you have kids, right? Netflix has a children's section. Other things have a children's section, but is it Disney? I mean, Disney is like kid cartoon content. Whoa. Kid cartoon content. That's alliteration right there.
Punkbox would be proud.
Yeah. You also know I love alliteration. I mean, I'm Ginger Gorilla. God damn it. So I think they're just, I mean, it might bring some of those other people back, and then you have it maybe. Because, I mean, from what I've heard, Onward is a very good movie, like enjoyable for all ages type of, like a good animation, and I'm very excited to see it. I already have Disney Plus because I'm also excited for the Marvel things that are going to come out. But like I still obviously think that they made a hit with not having any of that Marvel stuff ready. For this huge gap in between Disney Plus and the Marvel. But
did you hear that, John? I'm sorry if you
no,
did.
actually I didn't hear anything. I just saw you look over, but
the loudest motorcycle I've ever heard in my life.
Hey man, it was probably Ryan.
It was probably our friend, though.
It's probably our friend who's not social distancing. But I do think this could help Disney a little bit. Maybe their play. Maybe maybe I'll get some more subscriptions promoting that we put our big budget movie out on our streaming platform early, right? Maybe it'll bring some eyes in because it's still newer, right? I still think they had all that promotion. I think they cut, obviously it's run in movie theaters, so then they put it out on their platform, so maybe people who didn't get to see it, movie theaters are like, I want to see it. When's it going to come out? They promoted it a little that it's going to be on Disney Plus. People subscribe. Maybe it drives up some numbers with that, and they're like, okay, maybe this wasn't a total loss for us.
Maybe. I'm just shocked that people were canceling the subscription. I figured Disney Plus would be like one of the more popular ones.
Well, I think it's the fact that if you're an adult with no kids, it's fun watching.
Nostalgic stuff, yeah.
Yeah, nostalgic stuff. If you're not a complete old school like X-Men cartoon fan or those old school cartoons that Disney has, then you're kind of like, at this moment, because The Mandalorian, and once you finish that, it's like, what do I watch on here? Type of thing. Except for, was there another one?
There's one revving up right now.
This is what he's wild, okay? But this is what makes podcasts great. We're live. We're raw. We're entertainment. Unless you're listening to us and you're like, what the hell are these two guys doing? These buffoons. But I think that after The Mandalorian, they should have had one of these Marvel shows ready to go. Or at least more of a teaser. Maybe there's like one episode of each, or just the pilot episode of each type of thing. Because you know how like NBC will do like the pilot episode and then the actual series won't release for like a couple weeks later, a month later, or something like that. Maybe Disney show did something like that to hook people. Because if you're an adult, I don't really see why you would have it at this time. Cancel it, resubscribe when new things come out.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just like we're in this really weird time where you and I a couple months ago, late last year, were discussing the streaming wars. Who's gonna get this property? Who's gonna get this one? And now it doesn't seem like anyone's driving at all, aside from the people who are already established, much like the Netflixes, the Hulus, and stuff. I don't know when the Peacock service is launching. I don't know when a couple of different ones are launching.
I mean,
but
probably delayed now, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like this whole situation is really, while there's certain things doing really well, like Tiger King, which we can discuss if you'd like.
Oh, yes.
But like other services like Disney Plus, which I thought was going to be a powerhouse, is feeling a massive effect from this, I think. And we're in uncharted waters here.
Yeah. It's really, I mean, as we said last week when this was still happening, it's weird. it's weird to think about all of this and how it's affecting our entertainment and media. It's weird to see. It's a very uncharted territory. We don't know what's gonna happen or where things are gonna go, and it's weird that we were so hyped about these streaming wars, and now we're
Yeah.
like, I don't know, whatever, man.
And
um,
that's the thing, man. Like, it's even affecting like the pod. I usually have some like cool news from the movie world or some new stats from a movie release, but there's nothing now. It's
nothing.
just
Yeah.
which delay do we talk about, which release date that they just planned do we discuss. It's not. It's changing everyone's content. We all kind of
Hmm.
have to adjust with the new wave. I can't do new movie release movie reviews anymore. Now I have to rely on streaming stuff or tier videos like I'm doing tomorrow, or I mean today when this podcast releases, or even like analysis and stuff like that. It's also different.
Yeah, but my thing is, I also think this could be great for content creators who want to put in the work, in the sense of like you're gonna come up with new ideas now. It's gonna make you think. It's gonna make you act, go outside of your box, go outside your comfort zone, come out with new stuff. But when everything else comes back, now you just have it to add to your repertoire, more videos
Yeah,
that you could put out. So it's not going to like. If anything, it might help a little bit, as long as you're willing to put in that work, though. Like that's the thing. Um, and yeah, so it's very interesting to see how this landscape is going to change, not just within the next couple of months, but for years beyond it.
yeah, for
I'm
sure.
very interested to see what's going to happen. But as you mentioned, Lion King, we just saw some
Tiger King.
news. Tiger King, God damn it, man, I keep doing it. Tiger King, we saw some news about them adding an episode.
Yeah, so I actually checked that out.
Yeah,
The guy, what was his name? The
Jeff
one,
Lowe.
yeah, Jeff Lowe sent a video to someone saying that Netflix is putting out one more episode.
Mm-hmm.
I had said in a group chat that we're in that we are now in danger of jumping the proverbial shark,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
But in this case,
tiger
the
shark.
lion.
Or wait, why do you keep saying lion, bro? It's
I
it's tiger.
don't. I did it. Do you know what? And I thought I was so right on that second one, and I did it again. I doubled down on my own thought of being wrong.
Yeah.
I need
Um.
to. Got
You,
Disney
you,
Plus on the brain, bro.
you know, what you need to do is you need to go see Joe Exotic and ask him what's going on. My thing is with this, I don't think we need another episode. I think everything was
Mm-mm.
story wise pretty tied up. Unless there's new developments that we don't know about. Also, I don't know if I want to see any more of it, to be honest. This might be a hot take. I don't really like. So I enjoy documentaries and
Mm-hmm.
docuseries, sure. But I'm not crazy about overly dark content, and I found those last 2 to 3 episodes of Tiger King to be
Mm-hmm.
extremely dark.
Yeah.
Um, like I'm not a murder mystery kind of guy, like a true crime file stuff. That stuff is not my bag at all
Yeah.
because I think about the actual people involved in that and it messes me up. And I think that I might not watch the final episode unless you watch it or one of our friends watch it and tell me it's a whole lot of craziness and stuff that I really should know as a
Yeah.
result of the series and stuff. So yeah, that's where my head's at with it. What about you?
Well, my thing is, I think it's risky, right? Because right now, if you go anywhere, one of the best things is the meme game coming out of this, right? So, and memes make content also, like they give back, right? Memes give back. You see the meme and you're like, I want to see where that's from. You watch it. So that in itself, just like that is promotion that Netflix couldn't even ask for, right? You can't pay. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, there's meme farms now,
Yeah, but viral marketing
but
is not
yeah,
truly viral marketing until someone memes stuff.
exactly. So this is something that Netflix definitely couldn't ask for or planned of. It's just something that comes of it within itself, and this could ruin that, right? Because if this episode is overly dark, is bad, doesn't hit like everything else, it could just completely be like, okay, I'm off this Tiger King train. I'm done. I got it that time, guys. Shout out me. I'm learning out here. I didn't say Lion King anymore. What's up? But yeah, I think it could ruin it. But also another thing I want to talk about is I heard Doc Antle speak. Right? He's the one in North Carolina with the Colt. Apparently, the directors of this had a almost like a vision of trying to make him look worse, right? From his words, right? Now, obviously, if you're him and you are running a cult, you might want to go on different podcasts and talk about how you're not running a cult. But I heard him speak on 2 different podcasts. One with Theo Vaughn on his podcast, and then another one with Andrew Schultz on his little. It's not necessarily his flagrant podcast that he's doing right now, but he's just doing like half-hour bits, and he did a talk with him. And he said that they really went out, made it look like he had this harem of women, that he's sleeping with all of them, so on and so forth, and that's not how it was. He was like, the girl that they got who like left them, just like, he's like, I don't even know, like she ran away and got pregnant by some guy and then like came back to us and was like, I still want to work here, and now she's just talking. He's like, he thinks that she got paid off, he's saying. And then he's saying like that they have all these workers around, like 6 foot tall men all over the place, just like these big burly men helping with what everything needs to be done, like moving. And he's like, you didn't see any of them in the documentary. He's like, you don't see them in a single shot. None of the men that work here, you don't see in a single shot. All you see is this women and how they live here, and they live in roach-infested things. He's like, also, a lot of my workers are family. He goes, this is a family business. Like, I have a lot of family who works here, cousins, siblings, so on and so forth. He was like, so I'm not sleeping with everyone like they made it out to seem. And it was like this whole ordeal of how he was defending himself. And now I'm like, I don't know who to believe. Right?
Yeah, me neither.
Sunk on me. That was weird. My whole chair just like kind of like the hydraulic thing just like gave out and just sunk down on me right now.
Isn't that the worst?
If you just noticed me on camera, all of a sudden just get super short, that's why. But now I'm like, there's another layer to this, and now I almost kind of want to see just a Doc Antle documentary, a doc.
I mean, he's got enough money to pay for one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it also doesn't help that he calls himself by that name. What
Bhagavan.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't help towards the cult leader-esque type thing. That you got
he's weird.
There.
You can't deny that he's a weird guy.
Yeah, the bleach hair, like, I mean, you fit well into that doc. I don't think they had to work too hard to make it look like you're running a female harem cult going on there. But it's very interesting to see where that goes. I do think Netflix has these docuseries on lock, though. Like, I think that's one of their.
There's so many good ones.
Which is something you didn't necessarily think that they were going to be running, like maybe a year ago. But they've hit recently with the Aaron Hernandez, and they had the Gabriel Fernandez one. Then they had this. Then I think there was others in there that.
Don't F with Cats, a bunch of them that our friend has watched.
So it's, they've maybe that's their lane, right? Maybe that's one thing that they're like, okay, we got that on lock. Let's keep running that. That'll keep people on Netflix. Because as we went back, we started talking about the streaming wars. Maybe that's how they're like, okay, we can lock our group in by having these docuseries. We run the docuseries game. Get out of here, HBO. That's that. Also, I don't know if you heard about the Michael Jordan doc. Apparently, that Netflix might be releasing early.
ESPN.
But it's on Netflix. I heard it was on Netflix. I mean, you might want to look it up. I might be just talking out my ass right here, but I heard that they're releasing it on Netflix, which is very weird because ESPN's owned by
Disney.
So wouldn't that be strange?
Hold on, let me see.
But I mean, maybe the source I heard it from, because I'm pretty sure I heard that on another podcast too. I'm just This is the Regurgitation Podcast. Welcome, guys. Hello, I'm John the Ginger Gorilla, and I'm just gonna regurgitate the information I heard.
Let me see.
But if that's true, that's another docuseries that they might have on. Like, check. Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, isn't that weird?
Maybe Netflix is the one who started producing it, and they partnered with ESPN to get the game footage.
That might be why. Right? Because I think so. What I think is going to happen is that I think they're going to air it on ESPN and then also put it out on Netflix. I'm assuming.
And that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize
they're releasing it early, right?
Yeah. No, they are. They moved it up. It's supposed to release in June.
Quarantine. Do we have a date of when it's coming out now, or?
Let me get that for you.
Because I'm not a big basketball fan. I can't really understand it. I don't get the hype around it. I wish I did because it's a huge sport. A lot of my friends like it. I wish I could bond with them over it. But greatness is greatness. I got to watch that doc.
So it's 2 weeks from today, Sunday the 19th, is when it's going to release now.
So check that out.
Here's the thing.
Dude, we're gonna have to watch it. Oh my god, we're gonna have to binge it.
It's not even. Oh well, it's releasing throughout 5 weeks.
Oh, that's so smart, bro. I
Yeah.
like that. I kind of like that though, because it's gonna leave people talking about it.
Yeah, and the thing is, Michael Jordan's story is not just basketball.
No, it's everything. Like
This man was he was a gambling addict.
Yeah, I mean, I think in order to be the best at something, you have to be the addict mentality.
Probably, but it depends on if you can channel it into things that are healthy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I would say, LeBron James has become a bit of a fitness holic. Like he bought his own hyperbaric chamber to put in his house and stuff. It's he spends over $1 million a year on his body, which is nuts. Like guys like Michael Jordan weren't spending that much money on their body. It was just like, all right, let me have a salad today. Oh, wait, the casino's open. I'm there. There's stuff about his dad, I'm sure, which I'm not going to speculate on that story at all. I also don't know.
See it in the doc.
Yeah, I got to see it in the doc. So I'm really excited about that.
Right, there has to be juicy things in this doc, right?
I would think so. I mean,
things that people might not know yet.
Well, I don't know because I think Michael Jordan had to sign off on this.
It's kind of lame. I mean, look, if there isn't something that makes you go, whoa, like that's wild, then did you really do your job as a documentary?
I don't. We'll see.
Which there might still be. Maybe he's like, I know what to do. I'm like, maybe he's older now. Like,
maybe he doesn't care.
Yeah, like who? He's above it all, right? Like,
there were stories of him, going out to gamble till 3 a.m. and then playing a game that next morning, and stuff, and then dropping like 30 points.
That's wild.
Some guys are just built like that, though. Like,
yeah,
there's even rumors that, so I don't know if you ever heard of this, but Michael Jordan has an infamous game called the flu game, where he had like a stomach bug and he still played in the game.
He was hungover, right? There's rumors.
That's the rumor, that he was out partying and
that's wild.
I wouldn't still dropped like 40 points.
I wouldn't be shocked, because then you go and you talk about one of the GOATs and I put air quotes around it, so I know you can't see, and for the people listening, of MMA, who we could get into just because we're in like the little sports realm right now, and we love geeking out about things. So let's geek out about this. John Jones got arrested. Yeah, again for a DUI. I posted a little video on my Instagram if you all want to check that out. Ginger Gorilla Gaming on Instagram. And he got arrested again for a DUI and with aggravated possession. I don't know, something of a firearm, right? He had a gun underneath his seat. And there was rumors that he was shooting it into the air or something before the cops arrived. Like
that's why the cops were called.
Yeah. So, but there's been talk about how he'll stay out and party the night before. That doesn't train for maybe one of his best fights against Alexander Gustafsson. He didn't really train. His last fight, which arguably against Dominic Reyes, he may have lost. There's talks that he was partying the week before for the Super Bowl, like partying. He said, now here's one of the other things. Back when he was kind of like clean-ish, like people were like, wow, John Jones may have changed. He said that every summer he likes to go to rehab now, whether it's he's doing anything or not doing anything, just to kind of reset. And someone mentioned it after the last summer, like, hey, did you go? And he went, no, I'm good now. I don't need to do that anymore. And now here we go. We got John Jones falling off the wagon again. So, I mean, it's a crazy thing to see that someone, once again, considerably go at his craft, has this addict mentality, but isn't fully able to harness it, I think. It's like a superpower, right? A level of addictism.
Addiction?
Addiction. Thank you. Wow. Dude, I need to sleep more, But I think it's just crazy to see that happening, and it's very interesting, but it just makes me wonder, like, there's so much about Michael Jordan that could come out of this if it is done juicy, like.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's going to be very interesting.
Here's the thing, though. You can say what you want about being a gambling addict. You can say what you want about maybe being disrespectful towards your teammates by going out and partying the night before a big game, even though you performed well in it. It's different than going out drinking and driving.
Yes, and injuring someone. I mean, John Jones, the first time he did it, he hit a pregnant lady and broke her arm, and that was lucky. Like, that's lucky. That's all that happened. Like, he gets away with the murder. This is his third DUI charge, and he's get just like probation or something. Like,
His
not
license
arrested.
didn't get taken away from him.
Yeah, it's disgusting that that's possible. Maybe it's just Arizona laws, but I feel like if that's everywhere, that's disgusting.
That's
If
gross.
that's a possible thing, or maybe it's just he has a great lawyer because he's rich. Who knows? But it's very interesting to see. I would love to see a documentary about him one day too. Like, just all like legit have him come true. Like, maybe in the deep future if he makes it. Who knows? Because he has got demons, obviously. Because there's rumors that he used to hide from USADA underneath. He hid from USADA, which is the drug testing agency, underneath an octagon in his gym for 8 hours. Was like peeing in bottles underneath the octagon, like hiding under the octagon for 8 hours. He hid from them. That's a rumor though. Like, and I would love to hear him come clean about that. Like, when he's old, like, yeah, like I was in a bad place, blah blah blah. But that just once again, Netflix got on it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's a lot of media stuff that we got going on, and it's a very exciting world that we're living in right now.
Yeah.
So consume, people, and then have conversations with us. Tweet at us, let us know. Hit up the Instagram. Watch Kyle's YouTube. Leave comments on his videos. And yeah, leave comments here. Talk shit if you want. Do what you gotta do, but let us know what you think.
Be gentle. My ego bruises like a banana.
Yeah. Now, for something that I'm very, very excited about, because there is gaming news, people. I know, crazy. And it's not just gaming news. It's a new release, kind of. It's the beta of the new release. The new release will come out in the summer. But the game is called Valorant, Valorant. And what Valorant is a birth child of Riot Games. Now, I'm going to get into a lot of stuff about this. And I want to get Kyle's opinion on a lot of this stuff. So we're about to go deep. What Riot Games is. Riot Games also created probably one of the most successful video games in the world, League of Legends. And the reason I say it's most successful is because it's known for how great its esports setup is. It sells out stadiums, packed stadiums. They play football there, and then it sells out for League of Legends tournaments. It is huge in the Asian market, which is probably the biggest market. And then it is also huge in the United States amongst that people who like that type of video game. So that's the company that's making this video game. Now, what is this video game? This video game is a birth child. If you had Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, had a baby, which is a huge game for the people who don't know. Counter-Strike has been a huge game and is still played for years and years and years on all these streaming platforms. It's still a big game. And Overwatch. If you took those two games, Overwatch, also huge game. Both of them, huge competitive scenes. Take those two, combine them, and that's what this game is, Valorant. It's a 5v5 tactical shooter game. That's what it's described as. What does that mean? It's a team of 5 against another team of 5, and there's either team deathmatch modes or objective game modes like search and destroy type of thing. You got to plant a bomb in spawn A or spawn B. That's the most common game for these competitive leagues, is that you have to there's a defending team and an attacking team. You have to plant the bomb. Now, how it works is there's a shooting. You have your guns, right? At the beginning of each match, you start with a certain amount of cash, they're calling it, and you could buy weapons. You could buy your abilities to use for that round. If you don't die, you carry that over to the next round. But each round, you earn money by getting kills, by doing things, so on and so forth, right? That's basically the Counter-Strike part of it. The Overwatch part of it is the abilities, right? So you have different abilities. Different characters have different abilities. But the thing that this game is making, and the dev team is saying is so important about it, is the way to design this game. They're saying it was meticulously designed to be even no matter what you're doing, right? So if you're on the attacking or defending, even. They spent hours and hours and days and months just designing maps to make sure that there's no stronger point here than here or defending point here than here. They want to make sure that everything was so even that no matter what you're doing, it only went down to your skill, right? So are you good? Can you win it? Do you have team communication? You could pull this out, right? So they try to take all of the, okay, if I camp in this corner, it's stronger than, like, I have an advantage, right? Because you don't. Maybe someone's ability could get you there, so on and so forth. Another thing that they said is they want to design this game so everybody could play it, right? On PC. But everyone could play it. So if you have a decade-old PC running old hardware, you should be able to run this game reasonably fine and not be at a disadvantage while you're playing online. They're trying to make it so servers, you have 35 millisecond ping or under anywhere you are. Now, that's the hardest part. They're like, we can't promise that due to cable companies, internet restrictions,
Yeah, it makes
so on and
sense.
so forth. But that's their goal. And then on top of it, it's free to play. So this is basically saying all the stats and looking at it on paper. Now, obviously, we can't predict how well it's going to go. I've seen streamers talk about it who got early access who weren't able to stream it, but on announcement day 2 days ago, they were able to put up videos of them talking about it and what the gameplay looks like. Everything that's talking about it is this going to be the biggest game in the world. And do you know how excited that gets me? Like I'm going to be able to witness this finally because now I'm in this gaming realm. I'm dedicated and I'm excited about it. I got a beta key for Tuesday, which is tomorrow, April 7th. So if you listen to this on Monday and you want to see what this game is, why I'm so excited, check out the stream. 8 a.m. I'm going live. 8 a.m.
So can I ask you something, John?
Yes.
Do you think it's going to be the biggest game in the world? And if so, why? If not, why not?
So I do, for the sense of the level of excitement that big streamers see. And as I said, I think big streamers make things. Now, here's the thing that I don't know if I'm going to be fully enjoy. I don't know how much I will like this game, but I'm excited to take part in the beginnings of it and try it out because I never really got into Counter-Strike. I never really got into Overwatch, right? So I didn't really play either of those. So at the beginning, I'll probably be horrible at this game, but I'm just hoping that everyone else really doesn't know what they're doing either. So maybe I could slide in there. Especially because I'm going to have to play keyboard and mouse, which I'm not amazing at, but I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited to try it. So I think it's going to be the biggest because of how excited everyone is. And another thing I thought of was, why did we say that Fortnite worked so well in streaming? One of the reasons.
Why did we say?
Yeah, compared to maybe Call of Duty type games.
Well, I can say for me it was mostly because the visuals of Fortnite were just easier for me to view long hours of rather than the visuals of Call of Duty. That's exactly
what I was looking for, right? So the visuals. This game visually is appealing. It's cartoonesque, right? So it's not graphic and violent.
I didn't know that.
Brighter colors, like a lighter color scheme, which I think hinders Call of Duty. It's a darker game. So when you watch it, I mean, when you watch dark content, it's gonna put you in a slump. So maybe watching Call of Duty for hours, it might not be your thing, right? I feel like it's a niche type of thing. Now saying that, currently Warzone has been destroying on the charts for Twitch and stuff. But that's that, right? I think it's gonna. Everything on paper is screaming that this game is gonna be huge, right? And I'm just excited as a content creator to see that happen and see what comes out of it. As I just said, though, I don't know if I'm gonna love the game. Hopefully, I do. And the other exciting thing is they rumors have it that it's gonna be released on next gen consoles too, right?
Interesting.
So then there will be a controller aspect, and I'm assuming by the level of tactics and how even they want it, I'm assuming they're gonna keep everything separated, right? Maybe not between consoles like Xbox and PlayStation necessarily, but controllers away from keyboard and mouse, due to the fact that no matter what anyone says, I don't think that you could ever have a game that runs evenly for both of those things at the same time.
It's too hard.
Even playing field. And that's that. Also, with that being said, I still think that if a game puts enough marketing behind a league of keyboard and mouse and a league of controller, that you could have two different play styles come out of it, and that could be exciting. But with all of that being said, what is your take on this game? I mean, you really haven't seen much about it. You heard me talk about it here and there, but this is the biggest chunk of information you've got on it.
Yeah.
What do you think about this game?
Number one, I enjoy the numbers aspect of it in terms of, you said 5v5, yeah?
5v5, yes.
Think that I've been asking for Fortnite to make it possible to play with 5 people for the longest time, ever since we had 5 people wanting to play with us.
Yeah.
I also enjoy the fact that you're telling me that it's not a brown, green, and gray game, much like
Hmm.
Call of Duty is. I just don't like playing those games for long periods of time. I feel like I'm in the minority when I say that, but maybe I'm not, according to you, with why we believe that Fortnite blew up the way it did and past Call of Duty. What can you explain to me a little bit what the gameplay is like?
So gameplay is it's very strategic, right? That's the thing that like I do think that with a lot of these games, they do have a very like if you want to get serious, you'll play ranked, and then there's also like the messing around playing like pubs, right? This is where pubs and ranked really stem from. Is that Counter Strike days of like if you want to play serious, you go in ranked, but if you're gonna mess around, you play in pubs, or if you're a casual player, you play in pubs, right? That is, and even with League, who Riot Games created League of Legends, they're very serious about like, hey, we have our rank system. That's where you go hard, and then for general population, you play in pubs, right? You don't have to be great. Um, so I'm excited to see how they deal with that. But basically, what it is you have two teams. You start off, and you start off with I think just a pistol. But you pull up on a menu, and you have like a 30-second or a minute to choose weapons that you want to buy. Now, different weapons cost different amount of money, and every game, no matter what skill level you are, whatever, everyone starts with the same amount of money. Um, and so you could start off with different weapons, and then it could calculate that. Like they also went it super deep into that, and I'm gonna suggest I'll put videos in the links down below,
Awesome.
um, because there's a lot that goes into this. And listening to the devs talk about it, you could tell that this is a passion project that they really care about, and they want it to make a great game. Like you could tell, like they're creators, and they were like, no, we wanna have the best game. Um, but it's like you can make money throughout the game, so then you could buy a sniper to use in the next round, or you could buy an LMG, or you could buy this or buy that, right? But you can't rank up those guns. You could buy skins for them. That's where they're going to make their money off of this. They're going to have cosmetics, but it's not a pay to win, which is nice, right? So they'll have character cosmetics, I guess. I saw some weapon cosmetics, which is really cool because it is first person, right? So all you could do is see your weapons. So maybe character cosmetics might not be the best thing to sell for them because, as we've said, do we really care what our characters necessarily look like? I know some people do in Call of Duty. We don't really care what they look like because I can't see it. Um, but one thing that I saw was really cool for the cosmetic for like your gun. You don't choose your reticles and stuff. It's just whatever gun you buy, it has that certain reticle on it. But it will change the color of the reticle, like the design of the reticle a little bit. Your bullet trail will change colors too, depending on your cosmetics, which I think
That's
was a
pretty
lot of
cool.
fun. I'm assuming they're gonna sell like cosmetics for your perks, right? So for instance, there's one guy who could put up a flame wall, right, across like a certain distance. So maybe you could change the colors of the flames. You could buy cosmetics for that. Just things like that. And then also, I'm gonna assume in the future that they're gonna have. Now, usually these games make it free. They keep it fresh by changing out the heroes that you play as that you could choose from, and that's what keeps the game fresh. Overwatch does it every season. They introduce new heroes, they get rid of older heroes, and then eventually maybe they'll bring back a hero and so on and so forth. That's what keeps it fresh, and that's what keeps it alive. League of Legends apparently has like a crazy amount of heroes that you could play with from just now, so you could just jump around. And there's different like roles. There's called like tank heroes or a scout hero or a like you have an idea on if you choose that hero, this is what you're gonna be doing for our team strategy here, and that's why it gets so deep. Um, but it's there's gonna be a lot that goes into it, and I think that's what's gonna be very appealing for people.
Yeah.
Because like if we think about just our dynamic when we play Fortnite, I'm known as a guy who likes to push forward and try to get a kill, right? But then we have our friend Alan Emperor, aka Enforce Fit, on Instagram, so check him out. He likes to sit back and snipe, right? So that's with like this. Maybe I'll take a role or a hero that is a tank hero where I'm gonna go in, where Alan will be a laid back hero, maybe a scout hero type of thing. Um, eventually maybe they'll add healing heroes where they'll have a healing alt, which they have a power. You boom, I could heal you real quick, get you back up, some shield on you, so on and so forth.
That is pretty
I don't
cool.
know, but that's the appeal of this, and that's why I think it's gonna be so big because they're taking two of the biggest games, Counter Strike and Overwatch, and they're merging them together, and it's by the company who currently has the biggest game in the world, League of Legends, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I know it's arguable, like, oh, is it the biggest? I just checked Twitch before we did this, and they have 500,000 viewers on that game alone, which
Good
is
lord.
number one on the list. 500,000. on a Sunday morning. Like, it was crazy. So, with that said, I think this Riot Games. But there's one last thing I want to talk about. I mean, do you have any other thoughts that you wanna say about the game?
Not really, just because I'm not entirely informed. I will say that
Yeah.
I am excited. I'll be tuning into your stream for sure
Mm-hmm.
to see what this is all about. And I'm always down for new games to play.
Yes. So here's the only controversial thing. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying any of my thoughts here, but this is how the layout works. There's Riot Games based out of California, right? That's where Riot Games is based out of. Their parent company is a Chinese company. So there's a lot of people who don't play League. Obviously, League is a huge game, but don't play League of Legends because it's a Chinese-owned game. And I'm wondering how that might take a toll on the game right now. With the thought that, oh, it's a Chinese-based company, I don't want to support them type of thing. With today's climate and
Oof.
culture, like, can that hit the game that hard? Or do you think the fact that these streamers are going to be pushing it
Let
will
me tell you why I don't think
power
so.
it through?
I don't think it'll be affected because A, the streamers
Mm-hmm.
kind of pushed forward the culture of gaming from what we've seen. I mean, Apex, I think, blew up because they got the streamers to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And B, TikTok.
Yeah,
TikTok is a
you're right.
Chinese-owned company, and it is the it's not probably not the biggest app in terms of numbers, but it's probably the most popular one right now
I'm very
amongst
curious to see it
all the
compared to
kids.
like Instagram and all that stuff too. Like
You know what? Let me actually do a quick Google.
yeah, because like yeah. So that I mean I didn't even think of that. Like TikTok is thriving right now, and it's something that I know personally. I don't have it downloaded on my phone because I don't know something coming out of China. What I've been told by people is it can be very sketchy. They could be stealing information, so on and so forth. But also, who am I really that they're going to steal information from? I don't necessarily know. But do I want to be a part of that? Also, probably not. So, with that said, I don't know what's going to go there. But will that stop me from playing Valorant? Hell no. Because you know what I'm saying? Riot Games is based out of California. So, what can. I mean, it's based out of California, people. That's what I'm going to say to anyone who actually talks crap to me about playing it for the reason that it's a Chinese based company. Um, did you find any numbers yet? Or are you.
it's it looks as though it's not in the top 20
That's
used
like used apps or used social media?
used apps, but in terms of popularity, it is from
That
what I'm
doesn't.
seeing online, it's on. I'm seeing Uber's number one,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram
Not
two,
right now. It's
TikTok
not.
three.
Uber's not number one right now.
Well, yeah. So
But
TikTok is
you know
probably in the
that
top five in
TikTok's
terms
probably
of
right. TikTok's probably up there with popularity right now. All these
yeah.
people being home and making videos, and then that Drake song.
True, true,
Um,
true, true.
so I don't know. I wonder if that will have any effect on it, or is this game going to be such a powerhouse that it's like, nah, just get out of here, you conspiracy theorist. But that's the only controversial like thing that I've heard about this game. Another thing which I noticed the other day when all these streamers were streaming about the content, none of them had a hashtag ad, which means they weren't paid to talk about that game during that time. That's when the embargo lifted, where they could show their gameplay, release their gameplay on YouTube, and they were so excited about this game, they did it without being paid for it. Whereas,
And you have to say that you're getting paid for it,
yes, that is
just for
a
listeners.
law now. Um, whereas I know when Apex started, they were all hashtag ads. Even when this last Call of Duty Warzone, which the streamers ended up loving it, it was a hashtag ad, right? So I mean they're this excited about the game without even being paid for like paid to play it. Like that shows big things right there with it.
That's
And
true.
I mean, look how excited it got me. This is a game that I haven't played Overwatch. I haven't played Counter Strike. I mean, I've played Counter Strike. I haven't gotten into Counter Strike with like dedication and like really playing it. I played it in the past with dabble in it. Um, but like I'm super excited about it. Now, the only thing that I think is going to hinder it a little bit is the rumor says next gen consoles, right? I mean,
Okay.
if it's only to a computer market right now and they don't get it out on the PlayStation or Xbox or announce that they plan on doing that, that could hinder it a lot. But also, given with that, obviously, we can't necessarily say that because League isn't on PlayStation or Xbox, and that's a huge game, right?
Yeah.
It has its market. So I'm very curious to see how that affects it. But with that being said, Overwatch is on PlayStation, Xbox. So I could assume that this game will come there eventually. I'm just hoping they don't wait for the next gen console to do it. Now, given the specs and what they talked about, I don't see why they couldn't release it on this PlayStation or this Xbox because they're saying it could run on decade-old devices and run fine. So why wouldn't they be able to run it on the PS4 and the Xbox One? And I hope they do because then maybe you will be more willing to try it out, right? Like, obviously, they're releasing it on PC right now for the beta on Tuesday, April 7th. Once again, we don't know how long this beta is going to run, so I'm probably going to take a hit with Fortnite because I'm going to try to play this game a lot and try to get excited for it and see if I like it.
You just won't reach level 300.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, I forgot about that. Oh, no. I'm nervous now. But I'm very excited for this game just for the prospect of something new and big and to see
That's
how
the thing, man. I
might
mean,
change.
just the prospect of something shaking up things again.
Yeah.
That's what we all kind of crave right now, especially we're all in our rooms.
Exactly. I mean,
we need some new stuff.
this is one of those things that might hit at a perfect time too. Like, I mean, we've talked about how quarantine for certain things can make things like the Tiger King documentary. I don't know if it would have gotten as big if people weren't off and able to binge watch it. Would it still have been big? Yeah. But would it have been this big where it's taken over the meme world? Who knows, right? Maybe it hit at the perfect time where everyone's home. And maybe this Valorant game will do that too, where people will be able to watch streams. If you were able to get your hand on a beta key, that you'll be able to play it, and so on and so forth. But that's basically all I have to say for it. Do you have any closing thoughts on that, or?
I guess just that. Definitely tune into John's stream tomorrow, or well,
Yeah, tomorrow. Well, it depends when you're watching this.
today, I guess technically.
Yeah, I don't know.
And just come along for the ride. I am. I'm not going to be playing the game, but I'm going to be watching extensively. I'm going to be listening to your feedback on the game live while you're playing it. Afterwards, I hope that you're going to give a brutally honest review as you're playing it. What works, what doesn't work.
I plan on putting out a lot of content on YouTube for this too. Also, I've been putting up Red Dead Let's Play. That's not going to stop. I do because I'm now obsessed with that story line, and I want to finish it out on the Let's Play. But a lot of Valorant content is going to come out, and I know I might get lost in a sea of Valorant content, right? But also I know that only so many beta keys have been put out and drops were released. We don't know how many. They didn't release numbers, but I got one from watching a Twitch stream, and that's the thing that I was kind of like sad about. That's one thing, right? So I'm on Mixer, as people probably know. So I'm interested to see the levels of this picking up on Mixer compared to the levels of it picking up on Twitch, so on and so forth, and how that affects the game too. Who knows? But I'm excited to put out content. And I mean, I am going to be honest, because as I said, I wasn't a Counter-Strike fan necessarily, and I wasn't an Overwatch fan. So who knows if I'll be a fan of this game, and I'm going to be honest about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it has hype to live up to, man. It has hype to live up to. So,
exactly.
With that, I think we're done here, Kyle. Just let's shout out some socials. Which tell people where they can find you.
Well, you guys can find me as always on Twitter and Instagram at BuffCharmander. I don't remember if last time we potted if I posted the thing about me being quoted.
I don't think so.
I was quoted for the first time, which was cool. In an Instagram ad, which was dope.
For the
about hunters.
For hunters, yeah.
Watch that
Hunters if you haven't watched it. Whoa.
Very good.
Synchronized right there.
Very good series. Check out Big Time Adolescence. I just put out a review of that as well.
Yes.
Really cool movie on Hulu about coming of age story. But why am I plugging other people's work? You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram there. You can check me out on YouTube, Geeks Weekly. Again, I'll be putting out a Spider-Man movie tier list video within, I guess, like 6 hours of this being out. That movie will definitely, or that
but definitely, if
video will
you're
be out.
watching this on Monday, check. Monday, April 6th. Anytime after it, it's going to be up.
Yeah.
Safe to say, right?
Yeah, for sure. Again, check out our friend at EnforceFit for your
Yes.
fitness needs, especially during quarantine. I'm sure he'll be having some really cool content up there.
Mm-hmm.
Check out my friend Sean, who I do these videos with on YouTube at Sean C529.
Yep.
Also, be on the lookout at some point in the middle of this month for a special project I'll be doing with a friend of mine who is also named Kyle.
I'm very excited
John,
about that.
where can the people find you?
So, as always, you could search Ginger Gorilla Gaming on Instagram and Twitter, right? Will come up. Look for my nice, beautiful Ginger logo. Not none of those knockoff logos, because there's other Ginger Gorillas out there, but they ain't me, and they don't run their accounts anymore, and I can't get the original Ginger Gorilla. So, Ginger Gorilla Gaming on Instagram and Twitter, and on Mixer, mixer.com/Ginger Gorilla, or you could just search Ginger Gorilla on Mixer, and on YouTube, Ginger Gorilla Gaming, which you might be watching here. Make sure you drop that follow button to subscribe, hit the bell here and Mixer, hit that bell so then you could be up to date. I just updated my schedule for my Mixer streams on my actual stream page and stuff, and I said I'm going to be streaming as much as possible. I basically have been streaming every night, except for a night here and there where I just need a mental break. But I've been streaming every night. I've tried to put out as much content as possible. A Red Dead Let's Play almost every day now. I'm going to skip, obviously, Monday, the day that this came out, but then Tuesday and so on. And then we might be getting multiple videos a day with Red Dead Let's Play and then Valorant videos. I'm going to be putting in time to make sure. I mean, as we said earlier, creators are going to thrive here as long as you want to put in the time. And
Got
that's
to
what
put
me
in
and
that
Kyle
work.
are doing. So, once again, let us also know. I like to be critiqued a little bit. Obviously, don't come in and be scummy and toxic about it. But if you have ideas or tips or tricks or things I could improve, let me know in the comment section or DM me or message me on Twitter, right? I read those. So let me know what's up. If you have any questions or anything that you want to hear us talk about or bring to our attention, be sure to message one of us and we could talk about it on here on the Gorilla and the Geek. And yeah, that's basically it. Until next time, I'll see you guys. Peace out.
Later.